Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. Really good to have you back and good to be back. And today we are continuing with the page layout ideas book for junk journals. So today I am going to be doing something that I saw Corey Dahmen from Creating with Scraps do, and I thought it would actually make a great page layout. Now, I haven't tried it yet, so I really am not sure how this is going to work out, but I'm gonna take you on that journey with me. Okay, so we need six by six pieces of card, and we're working currently with Tim Holtz papers on this project, so I'm going to carry on with that. It's really strange because I've started working on the 8x8s, and it's really odd to now look at a 6x6 because it just looks too small to do anything with. So yeah, this is going to be, well, it's either that or I've got my new glasses on, which probably have kind of like an impact, so I'm going to take those off and we will see how we get on. Okay, so we need 6 pieces. I'm working with the Dapper pad. The memorandum is my favourite, but I just cannot get hold of it for love nor money. So we are working with the Dapper pad. So yeah, it's a little bit different to what I'm used to with memorandum and wallflower. I know some people actually really like it. The decisions or the kind of verdict's still out for me at the moment, to be honest. I'm not sure whether I love it or not. Because we only need 6 pieces. I'm choosing these 6 because I'll use these, the numbers to make clusters with at a later stage. I'm just going to pop those over there. Okay, so as I said, I haven't actually made this myself. I watched it for the first time last night. And as I said, I thought it would make an absolutely great page layout. So the first thing we need to do on this is we need to choose what we want to be our back and our front covers. Now, I think I'm going to go with those two. They're going to be our front and back. So we'll put those to one side. Now, with our remaining 4 sheets, what we want to do is grab our scoreboard. If you haven't got a scoreboard, then just ruler, pencil, and a bone folder, whatever, will do the job. So we're going to score at 5. I'm just trying to work out which side this is going to be on now. I'll go there. Because when it's directional, I think it does make a difference, but this is going to be an inside piece anyway. So we're going to score at 5 5/5 of an inch. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's going to be here. So 5 5/8 of an inch, we're going to score this. And we are going to fold that over. I'm going to do exactly the same with the others. 5 5/8. What did I say? 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I think I might have scored the other one not far enough, did I? Let's have a look. 5, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I scored this one not enough. So I'm just going to go back over that. So 5 5/8 on both of those. I'm just going to fold them over. I'll go the other side on this one now because I've already folded that wrong. Good start. 5 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I think this is right. We'll see. Okay, some of this paper is gorgeous, mind. I really am liking it. The only thing you want to be careful of when you're scoring is I'm a little bit heavy-handed, and the amount of times that I have gone through the amount of times I've gone through the paper, God, you couldn't count it on 2 hands. So I do try to be a little bit more delicate. Okay, so that is our 6 pieces, or 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. No, 5. Why have I got 5? Why have I got 6? Okay, these were the 2 that I wanted. Okay, we can save this. See? Let's have a look. So these are our 4 pieces that we're going to use. What we're going to do is we're going to glue these pieces together like so. So the first one's going to come down here, and this is going to stick up on the left. This one, we're going to have this flap sticking down on the right, and these are literally going to be glued in place like this. So if you see, I don't know if you can see that. So that's what we're going to do to get started. I'm going to use our glitter glue just because there's, even though there's very little wiggle room, it is a wet glue, so there is a little bit of forgiveness there if you kind of make a mistake. So I'm going to do one piece at a time. So we're going to put this one down here like that. Just make sure that we are happy that that is even. And what I'm going to do is put some of these on there. They're probably not strong enough actually, so I'm going to go back to this because we want this to be really, really tight. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same with this one over here. We are going to just glue this second piece down. Okay, now this one needs a little bit of wiggling. I'm going to take those off again a second and just get this right. Let's get my bone folder. I've moved everything around on my desk, and it was a good idea at the time, but now not so sure. They don't seem to be actually as good as I thought they'd be on this, so I'm just going to pin a couple of these each side while I do the other one. So I hope you're all okay. It's a strange day today. I had a funeral today, which is never nice, but it was the funeral of a lady who went to our church, and she just celebrated her 100th birthday a couple of weeks ago, and we had a party down the church for her. So, you know, it's never nice, is it, going to a funeral, but yeah, it was definitely a huge celebration of her life. 100 years old, can you believe it? Absolutely bonkers. And so independent she was too, you know. So that was, it was lovely that she got to have that party. She got her letter from the Queen, which was amazing. That was something she was really, really excited about. But yeah, I honestly can't get my head around 100. just seems so bizarre. But a good innings. That's a really depressing conversation starter. Sorry, to apologise. Okay, so once we've glued these together, what we end up with is this. Okay, we're going to get our... Let's just double check the measurement on this again. Yeah, 6 inches. So we're going to get our scoreboard again. And what we're going to do this time is they're 6 inches long. We're going to have the openings on the left and the right, or the left and the right even, and we're going to score down the centre at 3 inches. And then we're going to fold this over. Now, don't worry if it's buckly, it's meant to be. So, just going to make that nice and tight there. And we're going to do exactly the same with this one here. So this is where we're at. These are going to be on the right and the left, and we are going to score at 3 inches down the middle. So again, that gives us... Now, if any of these are out of sync, which they could well be, I'm just going to put that over there, actually, because I am going to need it again. If they are out of sync, then now's the time to just have a little play and see if you can get those lined up. But if not, you can always use the trimmer and take off any excess. But that looks better. Okay, so if you haven't guessed already, this is going to be a concertina piece. It's going to be very thick. So I did think about using vellum for the inside pockets, but I'm not sure that vellum is strong enough. And, you know, these generally are made to be ephemera holders. So I wanted something that was still sturdy, and like I said, I haven't actually given this a go yet, so this is my first time that I'm sharing with you. And if it doesn't work, then we'll have a gorgeous little standalone ephemera holder, and we'll come up with another page layout afterwards. Okay, so I'm pleased. That is working. What we have to do now, though, is we have to attach these two together. What I'm going to do is put a divot in here, which is what Corey did. And the reason being, I would like it to be easier to get in and out of them. But what I'm going to do is I don't want it too big, because obviously the whole point is that you kind of have got a nice pocket space here. So I'm not going to do it too big, but what I do want is I'm going to do them separate. So they're going to be in different places on here, if that makes sense. So in other words, I'm not going to have them all in the centre. Okay. I seriously need to take out accident insurance when using that thing. It's lethal. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I'm not distressing these for the, the whole full-on distress look. It's just to get rid of some of those white edges, which I'm not a lover of. Okay, so this will be 1, 2, 3. Is that right? No, those two are together. Those two are together. Those are not together. 1, Oh, probably didn't do that right, but it looked right when I was doing it. Oh, it's this one here I've done wrong. No, have I? Because that would have been there. That's right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So what we have to do now is we're going to glue these two middle sections here. Okay, so we're going to glue these two pieces here together here. And that'll give us our concertina look. Now, Corey's advice is don't go too far to the end. Give yourself about an inch. But make sure everything else is covered. What you don't really want with this is you don't want loads of seepage of glue, because they'll probably stick in the wrong places, but you do want it to stick. So a nice healthy blob of glue is good. It's always good. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly manipulate this so that they are all in place. Gosh, this is easier than I thought because I was a little bit nervous today, and I have tended to do things on a bit of a whim, which haven't always turned out well. But this looks as though it's going to be okay. So yeah, there's our two middle sections. Awesome. See, that one there did leak out a little bit. And I probably, there you go, lesson learned, because I haven't done them all in the same place. This one here is probably going to be quite difficult, excuse my head, to see. So I'll use, I'm not going to get the big cutter in there, but I will use the little one and see if I can compensate. It's not too bad. Okay, great stuff. So we've done those two, and now we're going to do the other two. So again, exactly the same principle. We're going to leave about an inch here on the edges, and we're going to give that a good glue in. I'm going to turn that over. Okay, just take off any glue there. Now again, I'm in exactly the same position with this one, where my divoty thing doesn't match, and not only that, it doesn't let me glue it too much to the edge. So definitely don't do as I do. Have all of your divoty things in the middle, and then you're not going to hit these kind of problems. Okay, so lastly, our fourth one. Now this, I'm going to glue this end actually because of that divot there, and that's going to have the same problem there. I've really created a problem for myself there. So let's just take that off. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Gosh, glue all over the place. Okay, it's a bit better. So that's that one there. That's what we've glued. Gonna need a little bit more here just to keep that attached. So we will end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, but I'm not going to spread those too wide at the moment, just because I want to make sure that they're firmly fixed before I do anything else. So I'm just going to clamp these now as we do the covers. The covers, I think, are a little bit more tricky, so we might have to think about it a little bit. Okay, so I know I need my board. Okay, so for the covers, we've got two pieces here. One is going to be the front and bottom, so kind of like that. And the other one is going to be the top and back. So let's make sure we're happy with our colours here, if that makes sense. So we're going to start with the front and bottom one, which I don't really know. Okay. It's not right. Okay. So the front and the bottom, we're going to score at 3 1/8 of an inch, and then 3 1/4 inches. So 3 1. I think that's 2, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if I've got enough to do that. So I'm doing, because mine doesn't break down enough, I don't think, my scoreboard. So I'm scoring at 3 1/8 and 3 1/4, yeah. And that is going to give us just a little bit of kind of like a lip, if you know what I mean. So there's one there and one there, and the one side is bigger than the other. Okay, so that's our front and our bottom. Now our top and our back, we're going to score at 4 inches, and then it's going to be every line until we get, Corey, I hope I'm explaining this right, every line until we get to 4 1/2. So we've given ourselves like a nice little kind of fold there, which will allow our piece to open up a little bit more. So we end up with 5 creases in total on this one, and 2 creases on that one. Now we have to put it together. So this is going to be the top and the back. So this one here is going to be the bottom and the front. Now, the $1 million question is, which is actually the longer piece or the shorter piece? It's got to be that way. Yeah, okay, so when you fold this one here, you've got a longer piece and a shorter piece. Our top piece has got these 5 different creases, and that's going to be the top with this longer piece on the bottom. This one here, we've got a longer piece which you're going to have at the front, and we've got a shorter piece which is what we're going to use to attach our front to our back. I hope that makes sense. I hope. So let's glue this. I'm not going to glue it too much to the edge because it does spill out, so I can always go back over that if needed. So we have got, let's just make sure that okay, so we have got this here, which is going to go on here, but it needs to be in a way that allows that crease down. So it's got to be on kind of like the second crease, if that makes sense. I don't know whether that does make sense. It needs to be on the second crease which will give you that kind of a little bit of a lip there. And if it's not enough, then you can simply make another one. It doesn't have to come up too high. And I'm just going to cut this little bit off here because it's a bit uneven. So this is what we end up with as our cover. I'm probably going to have to trim quite a bit of this actually, but that is easily done. So there. And again, I'm just going to take these white edges off. Okay, and again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly press down on this piece that we've glued. You can see why there was a slight need to cut the edge off, because it's on a tiny bit of an angle. So just, yeah, really work through that. And as I said, we want to make sure that that really, really is sealed, because otherwise we kind of defeat the purpose. Now, the great thing about this is you can have this as a standalone piece in your journals, or you can actually have this as a standalone piece, either for your own little ephemera or for Happy Mail or whatever else takes your fancy. Okay. So that is our one section. That is our second section, that is our third section, and that is our fourth section. And as you can see, that they've attached well, almost well, there. And it allows a really nice opening, so that they're not little small things. Now, again, if you can see where I try to be clever and do these, what I've actually done, because they don't match the ones, is they actually close up, and I've only been left with 3 real ones out of the 5. So yeah, just do them all together in the centre. Should have listened to Corey. Okay, so that's our inside, and that is gonna pop in there like so. And what you'll find is that you've got a slight bit of, quite a bit there, of edge around, and you've got a nice bit of edge on top here before your concertina opens. So it kind of it's kind of almost like its own little, well, it is a cover, but I'm just talking nonsense now, obviously. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to glue this section and this section to the insides here, as we did with these. Now, think about your closure before you do that. If you want to do a policy closure, then this is the time now to do that before you do anything else. If you want to use Velcro, which I'm going to actually use this time, I've never used Velcro before, but I'm going to use it on this one, then you don't need to worry about that. And if you're going to use lace or ribbon to wrap around it, you don't need to worry too much about that either. So we're going to glue this one in place, and again, we're not going to go, we're going to give ourselves about 1 inch, and we're not going to go too close to the edge, because it'll spill out everywhere. Now this one you're going to try and get in centre, and you're going to do it where your second crease, or your first crease, and your second crease then is below. This is almost as bad as me trying to work out measurements. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay. Yep, and that's gluing, that's sticking there now. So we're going to do the same here. And it's buckling. Don't worry about it buckling, because that's what we want it to do, so that it actually does open out. So we're not worrying about buckling. Okay, and then we're going to pull this up here, make sure that that is in place, make sure that our bottom piece is twisted or turned over, and again I'm just going to clip this to make sure that it stays in place. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to quickly grab some Velcro. Be right back. Okay. Now I've only got tiny little Velcro strips, so it should be okay, but we'll see. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to round, let me make sure I've got enough space here. So those now are glued in nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a bit of a lip here, and I think I'm going to see if I can get away with rounding the corner on that. I've got a bit of space to play with, so let's round the corner, yeah, and that gives us a slightly softer look. And I'm going to do the same with this piece here. I'm going to round the corners on those as well. Okay, Velcro pieces. This is a first for me. So let's hope it's not rocket science. Okay, so we've got 1. Oh no, that's wrong. Gosh, Mandy. 2. So where's the other bits here? So we've got 1 there. My hands and my nails and everything are absolutely coated with all sorts at the moment, so excuse me. Okay, and we're gonna pop those on here like that. If you're going to use this, then just be mindful of how wide you think you're going to need it to be, and make sure that your top has enough kind of a scope to grow with whatever you're putting inside. Sometimes the policy closer is a much better option, because you can adjust that more easily. Once your Velcro's in place, you can, put more on, but it can then start to look a little bit untidy. So, okay, it's working. I think I'm going to put 1 more in the middle though, just to be sure. I got glue and ink all over me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that is our piece. You can embellish this to your heart's content, but the moment of truth is going to be if it will fit in our journal as a page, and if it does, what is it going to look like? So let's have a go. I quite like it on there. Let's see what else we've got. As you can see, I'm desperately trying to fill these remaining pages. I don't know how long a series can actually go on. So we've got either that one there, or we have got that one there. I think it looks better over that one. Okay, so I will embellish this later, but the idea is that it's in here. We open it up and we've got this little piece here that opens up more fully, and you can put little pieces, as I said, of ephemera, some tickets, some tags, whatever else it is that you would like in that. Now again, we've also got a couple of options in terms of, just put this here so we can see what it's going to look like. We've also got a couple of options in terms of how we apply this. Now we can apply this at the top, the bottom and down this right side, which will not only give us easy opening, but it will also give us another pocket here. I'm not going to do that, as I said, because this isn't actually a working journal as such. And I'm not sure everyone's going to be a fan of this idea because, as I said, it can get very, very big and very, very bulky. This would probably be a nice piece for the inside of your journal covers. So actually, as you open your journal, a nice piece for the inside here, and you've got all your little pieces of ephemera ready, your sticky notes, your post-its, whatever it is that you use when you are journaling. So as I said, I'm not sure everyone's going to be taken with this as an idea, but you know, even if it's not for your journals, then the great thing is that it's something that you can fill in as happy mail. Just gonna blend this with my finger because that's probably the best tool. But yeah, if it's not for your journals, then I hope you would consider it for your happy mail. Now, I'm not sure, I don't think this was one of Corey's, I don't think it was one of Corey's flips, flaps and folds or creating with scraps series. I think it was literally a standalone piece, and I will try and link that if I remember to the bottom, but if I don't, then just literally Google Corey Dahmen. I think it's Dahmen Corey, I'm sorry I keep saying that, which is Dahman, I think. And if you put in accordion, what was the terminology? I think it was accordion concertina style folder. So just pop that in and you will see somebody a lot more experienced than me showing you how to do that. But yeah, I hope, like I said, that even if it's not a piece for a journal for you, that it is something you would consider for another project. And yeah, I do hope that that is something you'll try. The playlist for the series, Creating a Junk Journal Page Layout Ideas book, is based on the ideas book that Corey did for Creating with Scraps. And the full playlist is underneath in the description box if you want to pop along and have a look at some of the other videos. Once I've done each of the pages, I will come back once everything is embellished and do a flip through. But yeah, you know, if you want to see anything in specific pages or if you've got any comments, then just drop them down below. There's also in the description box a list of how you can, or where you can find me. So that is the end of today's video. Yeah, I hope it was useful. But until the next instalment, as always, take care of yourselves and we will speak soon. Bye for now.